And we wish you a good Tuesday morning, the 3rd day of December 2019. I am Dan Kuntz, your host, and this is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, back at it again for another day of local TV. And we got a good show for you today. I normally don't promise you, well, I promise you a good show all the time. It's the rarity is when we deliver, but we got Thom Nees coming in a little bit later on from Wenatchee Valley, so maybe we can live up to that promise. Of course, there'll be a community performance, and everybody's invited to attend, maybe even sing along to the to Messiah, as written by Handel. They're going to do it again this year. Only it's going to be at the Wenatchee High School Auditorium. It'll be this Sunday at 6:30. We'll talk about that with Thom Nees. Also, we'll wrap up the baskets for blessings and a few other odds and ends with Thom, who was a regular contributor to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We're looking forward to seeing Thom here in the back half of the hour. He'll be live in this studio. We have your weather forecast. A gradual warming trend will continue. We'll see more and more snow melt as the week progresses. A little chance at some light freezing rain at times, but outside of that, we're looking pretty good. Although I must say the weather yesterday was really strange. The high yesterday was 28. The low was 24. And this happens. You know, we have very little variation between the low and the high. And the funny thing is that 28-degree mark, it got there about 1:30 on Monday afternoon, and it just stayed there. It just was like never got warmer than 28. It just kind of hung around there. That's what happens when you have the overcast clouds and the fog like that. The temperatures really don't do much. But we're going to warm up. We'll be in the 40s, as a matter of fact, in the back half of the week. Forecast details are coming up. How about those Seahawks? Nice victory. They took a rather large lead in the second half against Minnesota, and then they had to hold on for dear life. But hey, a W is a W. We'll talk about Seahawks football. Also talk about what's going on in the world of prep sports this week. We also have everything else you're used to, like Today in History, some celebrity birthdays to pass along to you, the obscure holiday, and a new opinion that you've never seen before from our good friend Mike Mad Dog Mignotti. A couple of minutes after the hour, we have some better views this morning than we had yesterday morning at this time. Let's take you around the valley with our Valley View camera. Yesterday at this time, we couldn't really use that camera, the cross camera. It was completely fogged over. I mean, you couldn't see a thing. Not quite the case today, although it's not real clear. We still have that light wintry mix going on with the low clouds and the fog, but at least we can make out the valley a little bit. It's better than nothing at all. So we say good morning to Wenatchee and East Wenatchee. It looks like it's zoomed in just a little bit. When it's like that, you can't really tell if it's in or out, but we're down there somewhere. Trust me on that. Sunrise this morning, we're still a ways away from that. 7:30 is when the sun will come out. That's why it's so dark. Sunset tonight will be at 4:11. That means 8 hours and 41 minutes of daylight as now we're fully into December. Camera number 2. Where are we off to? Megan gets to decide. I have to guess. I'm thinking Rude Canyon. Am I correct? Yeah, and there's still quite a bit of snow up there in the Rude Canyon area. That's going to be dissipating and melting away as the week progresses. Again, we're looking at mid-30s today, lower 40s Wednesday, lower 40s on Thursday. Some fog and some clouds. Not going to see a great deal of sunshine, though. That canyon, that Rude Canyon area, that's kind of above the clouds and the fog. So they're going to see some sunlight today, but not down here in the Wenatchee Valley, I'm afraid. Camera number 3. We say good morning with a slow dissolve to, okay. Boy, it's a beautiful view. I should know this. I don't know this. Help me out, Megan. Oh, that's the Appalachians camera. That's zipped around. Way to go. Threw me for a loop. The Appalachians camera is pointing the other direction. Normally we have that right over Kashmir, but we have that pointed out in another direction altogether. Looks like it's pointing off to the west. So we're looking at the Dryden and Peshastin area from our Appalachians camera. That's a guess. I don't really know. I've been up there. I've driven up there, but I can't really put my finger on what exactly we're looking at, except a lot of orchards and a few houses. Maybe that building that's all lit up in the lower right-hand corner would be a hint, but I'm drawing a complete blank this morning. Megan has fooled me, and she does that quite well. Camera number 4. That's a no-brainer. That's Omi Gardens. That's the Omi Gardens camera looking down over the Wenatchee Valley. You can see the Stemilt complex. Of course, the Cosmic Crisp apple made its debut a couple of days ago. The Stemilt retail store is selling them. I think it's about $2 a pound for a Cosmic Crisp. I have not had one yet. I love apples. I can't believe I haven't picked me up a Cosmic Crisp yet, but before this day is over, I'll make a point to go see our friends at the Stemilt retail store, which is, well, you can almost make it out And there's the Otabashian Bridge in the East Wenatchee area. And of course, way off in the distance, the Wenatchee Valley proper. Our view from Omi Gardens. All of these cameras, courtesy of Localtel's Sky-Fi high-speed wireless setup. You know what that means. If you don't have fiber to your house, but you want screaming fast internet, you can get it. Just give Localtel a call at 888-8888 and find out if you are eligible for Sky-Fi. Just about 6 minutes after the hour from Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, they give your home a hug. There you go. How you like them apples, if you pardon the expression there. Just not a lot going on here. Milder temperatures, as you can see. There is a slight chance of a little bit of freezing rain overnight tonight into Wednesday, basically between 4 in the morning until about 8 in the morning tomorrow. I mean, just a super slight chance, only about a 10% chance of freezing rain tonight into Wednesday. Outside of that, we're just going to be dealing with lots of clouds, some freezing fog in the early morning hours. The snow level Wednesday night into Thursday going to drop down to 2,900 feet. That's pretty close to us, but on the other hand, there's almost no precipitation out there. So the sun is basically taking the week off. We have a slight chance, again, a slight chance, about 10% chance of a light rain snow mix Thursday into Thursday night, but you see the high near 40. Whatever we get's not going to stick around very much. 42 on Friday. If we get any precipitation at all on Friday, it will come down in the form of rain. We jump ahead of the weekend because we can. Clouds on Saturday, clouds on Sunday. Sunday afternoon, the sun will be coming out, and by the time we get to Monday, we'll have some sunshine. So it's just kind of there. That's what we'll be dealing with. Of course, we're used to this time of the year. This is a very common weather pattern. What isn't common was how dry our November was. There you go. We talked about this a couple of days ago. The third driest November on record in the Wenatchee Valley. We barely got nothing. Our normal amount of rain is about 1.33 inches. We barely got anything in November of this year. It was the third driest November ever measured, and these records go back 89 years, so it was an abnormally dry November. In fact, the November that just came and went, and November is normally our wettest month of the year. It was actually, so far, our driest month of the year. Now, how's that for odd weather? Yeah, our third driest November ever measured in the Wenatchee Valley. That is strange indeed. So once again, one more look at your forecast. Slight chance of some patchy, little bit light wintry mix in the overnight hours. Tonight, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, that's going to happen. Again, very slight chance, anywhere between 10 to 20%. Whatever we get in the early morning hours is not going to stick around because our afternoon highs will be well above freezing. Let's take you to the major mountain passes, see what we're looking like there. Right now, I-90 is looking fine. No advisories, no restrictions. Nothing coming down from up above. The roadway is pretty much bare and wet, so you're smooth sailing there. Stevens Pass is dealing with a little bit of freezing rain. Not a lot of it, just a little patches of freezing rain you're going to run into now and again, and because of that, they have a traction tire advisory. There is some patchy ice in places right at the summit of Stevens Pass, about the last 4 or 5 miles as you get up over the pass, and the last 4 or 5 miles after you crest the pass and head over to the other side of the mountains. That's where you're going to find that freezing rain. So they have a traction tire advisory there. Blowed Pass, US 97, no issues at all. Scattered clouds, roadway is bare and wet. No advisories, no restrictions. Of course, all of the major mountain passes are kind of above the cloud cover that we have here in the Wenatchee Valley. So if you want to get up and get a little bit of sunshine, the mountain passes might be the way to go. Again, traction tires are advised on Stevens. No advisories, no restrictions on Blewett or on I-90. It's 9 minutes after the hour. We are going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll have your Tuesday morning news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. And this morning, we're broadcasting live from Studio 9 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life Channel.
Winter is here, and CVCH wants to give your child a free sled to help them stay active. This January, plan to join us for a free event for the whole family. Free sleds, hot chocolate, and fun. For complete details, visit the CVCH Facebook page or check us out at cvchchillout.com.
Hi, I'm Eric Grandstrom with the NCW Life Channel.
And I'm Brent Rose with Country 104.7 KKRV.
It's that time of year again.
The third annual Les Schwab Community Toy Drive.
Christmas will be here before you know it, and a lot of kids in our valley will go without if we don't help.
You can help by stopping at Hooked on Toys and picking up a gift tag off the tree.
Buy the gift and drop it there or any of our sponsor locations.
Thank you for helping kids in our valley have a Merry Christmas.
With the Les Schwab Community Toy Drive.
And we're back at 11 minutes after the hour on this Tuesday. We have clouds, some fog, a little bit of mist, as a matter of fact. 26 degrees. We'll get up into the mid-30s today. Lots of clouds all day today. In fact, no sun really expected at all until we get to late Sunday afternoon, with temperatures gradually warming into the lower 40s. Here's what's making headlines. The mother of four who allegedly took her children along to a campground robbery faced formal charges yesterday. Becca Ray Rosenberg was arraigned in Douglas County Superior Court on counts of second-degree robbery, assault, theft, and reckless endangerment. She and her partner, Kai Michael Shelton, are accused of a September 27th robbery near Banks Lake that turned violent. The two then became fugitives until their arrest back on November 13th near Moxie. Shelton is due to be arraigned December 16th. Both Rosenberg and Shelton are being held at the Okanagan County Jail. Rosenberg's children are now in foster care. Well, the man who was suspected of sending a white powder in his ballot when he returned it to the Douglas County Courthouse is charged with a little-known misdemeanor. Howard Allen Lane, 66 years old, out of Waterville, is got to appear in court on December 17th on a charge of, quote, committing a prohibited act in a voting center, end quote. Prosecutors filed the charge November 4th, 2 weeks after a ballot envelope allegedly sent by Lane spilled white powder when staff opened it at the county auditor's elections department. The courthouse was evacuated, shut down for a day and a half, but the powder was ultimately found to be non-threatening. Police say Lane has denied any responsibility. Well, a Friday afternoon fire just outside Leavenworth claimed a vehicle and portions of a garage, but Chelan County Fire District Number 3 crews were able to contain the blaze and keep it from spreading to the attached home. The fire was reported about 1:40 in the afternoon on Emick Drive on the northern outskirts of Leavenworth. No injuries, thank goodness, were reported. The Les Schwab Community Toy Drive had their kickoff event over the weekend at Hooked on Toys in Wenatchee. Our very own Eric Grandstrom was there, and he filed this report.
The third annual event got underway with Friday night's Wenatchee Wild Game as volunteers sold 50-50 raffle tickets and Chuck-a-Pucks. In addition, a giant Les Schwab tire bag was filled with toy donations. Things really got underway Saturday morning at Hooked on Toys as NCW Life Channel and KKRV radio broadcast live. It was a chance to speak with representatives of the recipient organizations.
We help kids with counseling services, child and family counseling services, out-of-home care, foster care services. We've got a great program, Readiness to Learn, which is a school success service.
And they get into the child's world and they find out all about the child and essentially make sure that the child is safe, that they can achieve permanency, which is really a forever home, whether that be by going home to mum and dad or being adopted.
We're a 2-year program, and we just basically give homeless families a place to land, and up to 2 years we work with them to work on goals. And Vanessa can tell you a little bit more about goals.
So I help them develop self-sufficiency plans where they kind of process through, where they are, where they want to be.
SAGE is our local crime victims organization. So we help people who have been victims of domestic violence, sexual assault, victims of crime, and we have a child and family advocacy center.
Cashmere Care has been around for about 4 or 5 years now. It was started by Superintendent Glenn Johnson and dealing with kids that need a little help.
The toy drive took in over $2,000 in cash donations and got off to a great start in lining the tables of Santa's workshop with toys destined to find a way to over 1,500 children in the Wenatchee Valley this year. There'll be an expert shopping spree Wednesday, another live remote Saturday at Hooked on Toys, and the bike build Sunday at Sangster Motors. For more information on the toy drive, search Les Schwab Community Toy Drive on Facebook or see the website at lstoydrive.org. I'm Eric Grandstrom, NCW Life Channel News.
Thank you very much, Eric. You'll be hearing a lot about the Les Schwab Community Toy Drive between now and Christmas Eve. And finally this morning, Commissioner of Public Lands Hillary Franz and state legislators, flanked by fire chiefs and public health advocates, unveiled a proposal on Monday for the first time providing dedicated funding to improve Washington's wildfire response capability and restore wildfire resistance in our forests. The funding would be the largest investment Washington has ever made to expand its wildfire team and restore the health of the forests. The legislation, which will be introduced in both the State Senate and State House of Representatives come January, would include the addition of 42 more full-time firefighters, the purchase of a Type 2 helicopter, and to invest to protect property owners in fire-prone communities. Supporters of the legislation say the bill would generate $126 million per biennium. That would make investments for wildfire prevention, preparedness, and the health of our forests. And that's what's making headlines on this Tuesday morning. The crew will be back at it again tonight, gathering news and disseminating news to preview the Tuesday evening news. Here's the anchor, Grant Olson.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, we'll have an exclusive interview with Chelan County Fire District 1 Chief Brian Brett. The Chelan Douglas Community Action Council held its first event of its fundraising series, Empty Bowls. I'll tell you about a slow warming trend in your north central Washington weather forecast, and Eric Granstrom will be in with highlights and reactions to last night's Monday night football game between the Seahawks and the Vikings. That and much more coming your way tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. Hope to see you then. Dan?
Thank you, Grant. We appreciate it. If you want to be a part of our news team, you don't get paid, but we sure do appreciate it. If you have a news tip out there, a story that you think demands our attention, we'd love to hear from you. At the bottom of the screen are all the different ways you can get a hold of us. Maybe the best way is really the email, news@ncwlife.com, news@ncwlife.com, or you can go to our website, ncwlife.com, and you'll see the Contact Us icon at the top of your screen. If you click on that, a form pops up. You fill out the form, you push send, and we get it that way. If you're a telephone kind of person, pick up the phone and give us a call at the number that you see at the bottom of your screen. You can also go to our Facebook page if you want and use the Facebook Messenger and type us out a little note, and we'll get it. Trust me, we'd love to hear from you, our viewers. This is as much your station as it is ours. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk Seahawks football, preview the day that is in the world of prep sports as the winter sports season begins to ramp up a little bit. Plus, we'll have the Obscura holiday. We got today in history, some birthdays. Everyone is entitled to Mike McNally's opinion, and here in studio, Thom Nees, the executive director of Serve Wenatchee Valley. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Reinventing FaceTime here at Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, a new family-owned and operated business located in the heart of downtown Wenatchee. Owner Andrew Vickery brings forth years of experience to help you transition your backyard into a place where memories are made, family time is looked forward to, and friends are always welcome. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa offers many different styles and sizes of artesian spa. Let us help you add hydrotherapy to your already healthy lifestyle.
Did you hear the news? The 108 is reopened after the flood. Hey, this is Evan from the 108 in downtown Wenatchee. I want to invite you down to the Walkabout Grill and the 108 and let you experience our twist on your favorite cocktails in a cozy environment that's great for celebrations, that one-on-one rendezvous, or just getting together with some friends. The 108 has quickly become a downtown favorite with happy hour from 4 to 6 every day. Grab your favorite people and come say hi. The 108 Lounge, downtown Wenatchee.
And we roll forward on this Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley at 19 minutes after the hour of sports. Guess who's in first place in the NFC West? Yeah, the Seattle Seahawks. They beat Minnesota last night 37-30. Monday Night Football. They were trailing 17-10 at the half, and then Seattle scored 24 unanswered points. They took a 34-17 lead, and then they hung on for the victory. The Seahawks' rushing attack proved way too much for the Vikings. Chris Carson running the ball 23 times, 102 yards, also a touchdown. Rashard Penny had 15 carries for 74 yards and a touchdown. Coach Pete Carroll very happy to see that part of the Seahawk offense.
You know, that's a really good front, and they've been giving up, I don't know, 90 yards or something in the game, and I think it's the third week in a row or something we played the top 5 rushing defense, and our guys continue to run the football and allow us to control. I think we ran over 40 times tonight, which is great. Over 200 yards, which is great for us. And a little addition, a little help from Homer gave us a nice little pickup there as well. But I just think the guys up front did a really good job against a really good group. This is an experienced, hard defense to play against, and we came through. It felt like a championship game in the stadium. Fans were just extraordinarily good tonight, and it was just felt as good as we could ever remember it in terms of their energy and juice, and it just makes it so much fun to be part of this whole thing, and so thrilled to see that came to life and they hung with us. We did a nice job of getting the ball off them again. 3 turnovers is good. A terrific play by Malik in the last kickoff, which we just take great pride in on special teams. It's a fantastic play just to end the ball game. But again, we're hawking the ball, and it's coming out, and we're getting some shots at it, and so we need to keep riding that. So a lot of good things, a lot of positive things. Just couldn't be more excited to have that kind of win and to put us at 10 wins. It's a nice spot for this time. We kick it into the fourth quarter, and now it's finish time, and now we got to do our job. We haven't really done anything yet, but the finish is there for us, and with 4 games left, we got to make some noise and see if we can finish this thing off right.
Russell Wilson finished 21 of 31, 240 yards, a couple of touchdowns. He also had a very strange interception. It was returned for a touchdown in the first half. It was a batted ball. It came back to him. Russell Wilson tried to bat the ball down, which is what you're supposed to do, but instead he pushed it right into the waiting arms of Anthony Harris, who unfortunately plays for the Vikings. He raced it in for a touchdown. He says that was definitely a very weird play.
I was trying to knock it down. I think I got hit right when I was trying to knock it down, so I guess I got to work on my hops a little bit and get up a little bit higher. It was a special night. I think the offensive line did a tremendous job. They were so physical all night. We were able to run the ball extremely well. They kept playing too high shell, just super deep. They didn't want any shots thrown on them, and so we said, okay, well, we'll just run it, and do what we do really well. And sure enough, we just kept going with it. Then sure enough, they came up occasionally, and we hit some big plays down the field with Demo and some other plays. So there were just some great plays throughout the whole entire game, and it really started with the offensive line doing a great job. You see Penny hit the corner, his speed and his power that he runs with. Downhill, you see Chris Carson, what he's been able to do his whole time. He's been a Seahawk, and it's just been great just having those 2 guys run the football that well.
So Seattle improves to 10-2 on the year. That's the same record as the 49ers, but of course they have the tiebreaker because they beat the 49ers earlier in the year. Next up for the Seahawks, Sunday Night Football in Los Angeles against the Rams. The prep basketball season starting to ramp up now. They're getting busier and busier. Let's take a look at some of the games throughout the region. We'll begin with the girls' basketball schedule. Wenatchee travels to Meade. They'll take on the Panthers at 5:30. Yeah, it's the Panthers against the Panthers. Cascade will host Quincy at 5:45, and in the Bees, Bridgeport is at Republic, and Kittitas will host Riverside Christian at 6 o'clock. The boys' games that get going at 7:15, including, again, Meade hosting Wenatchee. Cashmere is at Ephrata. Quincy plays at Cascade, and at 7:30, they'll tip it off Riverside Christian at Kittitas, and Bridgeport at Republic. How about some girls' bowling? They're back at it again this afternoon. Eastmont will host Moses Lake at Eastmont Lanes. It starts at 2 o'clock. The Wildcats are off to a slow start. They're 1-2 on the year. The Chiefs are 2-0. In Big 9 play, the Wenatchee Wild wrap up their 4-game homestand tomorrow night, taking on the Penticton V's. The V's lead the interior division of the BCHL with 47 points. They are 23-8-1. Wenatchee is in 4th place, 34 points, 15-12, 3-1. The puck will drop at the Town Toyota Center at 6 o'clock tomorrow. By the way, I'll be talking to Art Checker tomorrow on this very program to preview that game. And finally, here's a peek at our sports schedule for the rest of the week here on the NCAA Life Channel. It begins tonight. State playoff soccer between Meade and Eastmont. We'll have that for you at 7 o'clock. Hockey night Thursday will feature an earlier game between Penticton and Wenatchee at 7. On Friday, we'll wind down our football rewinds with Davis and Eastmont at 7 o'clock. Saturday, we got some wrestling action from last year between Eastmont and Moses Lake at 2 o'clock, followed by Wenatchee and Davis football at 7. It's all here at your home for local sports. And that's us, the NCAA Life Channel, and those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Tuesday at 24 minutes after the hour. The obscure holiday of the day today is Make a Gift Day. Yeah, take out the glitter, the yarn, your glue gun, whatever it is. Make a gift day today. I mean, everybody talks about getting the most unique gift you can possibly get. Making a gift, making something that's absolutely one of a kind to give to a loved one over the holiday season is really, it's taken off. It wasn't always that way. I mean, it's so much easier to, go to the store and whip out your wallet and buy something. But you put in the time and the effort and the creativity into making your very own handmade gift for that special someone on your list is the way to do it. And it's not just for Christmas. You can do it for weddings and graduations, retirements, housewarmings, birthdays, it doesn't matter. By the way, a little fun fact I found on the internet. I read it on the internet, so you know it's true. In China, if you wrap a gift in red paper, it's considered a good luck charm to the recipient. And if you have no DIY skills at all, if you can't make anything, pick up a skill and make something, all right? Or go to the Holiday Craft Bazaar at the Wenatchee High School Commons this Saturday and pick something out that was handmade. Just tell them you made it. Make a gift day today. Always celebrated on December 3rd. It is December 3rd. Let's do Today in History. Happy 201st birthday to Illinois. There's the Illinois state flag. Illinois is 201 years old today. They became the 21st state of the Union on this date back in 1818. Of course, it is known as the Land of Lincoln. They didn't become the Land of Lincoln, their official motto, until the 1950s. Before that, they were known as the Prairie State, for reasons I don't know. Illinois was the very first state to ratify the 13th Amendment, which of course abolished slavery. Illinois generates more nuclear power than any other state. Illinois is the largest producer of pumpkins in this country, and Illinois is the second largest producer of corn in the United States. The Chicago River is one of the few rivers in the world that actually flows backwards. They built 3 canals over the period of about 20 years, ending in 1922. They wanted to reverse the flow of the Chicago River, so all the empty sewage would dump into the Mississippi River and not into Lake Michigan. Probably a good move there. And Presidents Lincoln, Grant, and Obama all lived in Illinois, but the only American president that was actually born in Illinois, Ronald Reagan. Happy 201st birthday to Illinois. This is the 40th anniversary of a rock and roll tragedy. I remember this well. They had festival seating at the Riverfront Coliseum in Cincinnati, Ohio, and that means basically they opened the doors and you got to the best seats that you could. There wasn't any assigned seating, and because of that, 11 fans suffocated in the massive crush trying to get seats in the concourse outside the Riverfront Coliseum before a concert by The Who on this date 40 years ago today from WEBN in Cincinnati.
Others were pleading also to open the doors, but the police inside were very tough and refused to listen.
And at 7:54, we found the first bodies laying on the ground some 15 feet from the front doors.
The bodies appear to have died of trauma.
For anyone that fell to the ground, there was no way to get up. The crowd just walked over them.
There were some evidence of footprint-like injuries.
They all just started to push. It was just one massive wave of pushing.
There were multiple contusions.
You could actually see the kids, they'd push and they'd kind of fall back and push again.
I caught my breath. I pleaded with a young woman police officer to open the doors, that there were people down out there.
Any that might have fallen in the front were just trampled.
The deaths were attributed to the asphyxiation.
The crowd surged forward, people fell, they panicked, and 11 ended up dead.
Yes, 11 died, a rock and roll tragedy, one of the worst ever. 40 years ago today, they will be having commemoration ceremonies in Cincinnati today. This is the 20th anniversary of a great big oops on NASA's part. They had launched the Mars Polar Lander. This was a big thing. They had launched it earlier that summer, and after all those months, on December 3rd, 1999, it made it to Mars. As it entered the Mars atmosphere, it just they don't know what happened. They lost contact with it. They never resumed contact with it. What they think happened, although they don't know, because you can't call AAA and our lander broke. Can you give us a tow? It doesn't work that way. They just had to guess, and they think what happened is one of the engines that was supposed to slow it down didn't quite fire right, and it kind of crashed into the Martian surface, and they lost all communication with the Mars Polar Lander. They tried again a few years later and got it right that time. That happened on this date 20 years ago today. And finally, today is the second anniversary of the demolition, the implosion, if you will, of the late and not so lamented Pontiac Silverdome. Let's watch it together. Here we go. It's going to go down, the Silverdome. There it goes, and here comes the implosion. Can't wait for it. I love watching these implosions. They're so cool. And here we go. It's going down. See, you see the dynamite went off, and it's all the support pillars, and it's going to go down any minute now. Here we go. Waiting for the Silverdome to collapse on itself in this big implosion from 2 years ago. Still waiting. Still waiting. Wait a minute. Something went wrong there. Yeah, didn't work. Didn't work. Yeah, maybe it was indicative. Maybe it's a great metaphor for the Silverdome in and of itself after being abandoned for about 10 years after the Detroit Lions moved They tried to blow the darn thing up, and they couldn't even do that. They tried again the next day. Stay tuned for that. We'll have that for you tomorrow. That's Today in History. Bottom of the hour, birthdays. Happy birthday, Johnny Osborne. John Michael Ozzy Osborne. Every time he celebrates a birthday, I lose a bet. The guy is 71 years old. How he made it to 30 is beyond me. Ozzy Osborne, Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, class of 2006. Ozzy Osborne, there he is 71 years old today. I saw him the other day. He's a lovely shade of blue. Happy birthday, Ozzy Osborne. Somebody should probably tell him. And a happy birthday, of course, to my favorite Greek soccer player, Avram Papadopoulos. He is 35 years old today. When we think, of course, of soccer in Greece, the cradle of mankind, we all think of Avram Papadopoulos, who is 35 years old today. Happy birthday, Avram. I'll Skype with you later. Before we take a break, bring Mike McNaughty on board and my good friend Thom Nees. A reminder about the Les Schwab Community Toy Drive. It is underway. Those are the beneficiaries. These are the people who are going to get all the toys from Santa's workshop, including the Bruce Transitional Housing, the Children's Home Society, Serve Wenatchee Valley. We'll talk about that with Thom when he joins us. Court-appointed special advocates, that's CASA, SAGE, and our good friends at Cashmere Cares. They get the toys, but what we need are toys. And that's where you come in. All of these sponsors that you see here are drop-off locations. So you're out and about, you're going to get a new unwrapped toy. Anybody from infant and toddlers all the way to junior high and high school, we'll take them and bring them to any of those drop-off locations. We come and pick them up, we get them all organized, and then we're going to give them to those nonprofit organizations who are going to distribute the toys. We're looking at about 1,600 kids in our community to benefit from the Les Schwab Community Toy Drive, but we can't do it without you. So donate, all right? The Les Schwab Community Toy Drive, special thanks to Les Schwab. Without them, it doesn't happen. And without you, it doesn't happen. 32 minutes after the hour, a brand new opinion from Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and then Thom Nees from Serve Wenatchee Valley will be here. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
So Pam, how's your mom doing?
She's okay. She's struggling. She'd like to stay in her house, and it's getting harder for her to do the daily chores.
What kinds of problems is she having?
Just basic house cleaning, taking care of her house, yard work, taking care of her medicine.
Mm-hmm. It does sound exhausting.
It is very exhausting, and I always worry about her.
Aging in Adult Care can assist you or your loved one to remain comfortably and safely in their own home. Contact them today to start the conversation. Arctic Refrigeration and Heating has been serving North Central Washington for 34 years. Arctic provides the finest heating and cooling air quality products for residential and commercial customers, along with prompt and professional customer service. Arctic also offers specialty services like custom sheet metal fabrication of ductwork, coil cleaning, as well as planned fall and spring maintenance for the overall well-being of your system. Arctic is available for emergency calls 24/7. Call Arctic Refrigeration and Heating for your heating and cooling needs.
Are you like many who are lacking in their retirement plan but are skeptical to talk to an advisor? Are you concerned about where you should put your money or who to trust? At Solomon Financial, we are more about the people we serve than policies or products. We are a fee-based fiduciary with the mission of giving you the peace of mind so you can live the retirement of your dreams. If you have any of these questions or concerns, we'd welcome you to come see us.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Are the rumors true, Corey?
Yes, and you're going to love what we're doing at Sangster Buick GMC. We're just $49 down delivered. Wenatchee Valley, winter is coming and we have your solution. Just $49 down and you're driving the vehicle of your dreams. All-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, new or used, virtually any make and model. GMC, Buick, Subaru, Honda, and much more. Yes, the rumors are true. Just $49 down delivered. Choose your vehicle, compare price, service, and selection. Sangster Buick GMC, sangstermotors.com. Where caring about your family brings you back to ours.
At some point, we realized that value and practicality go hand in hand. A time when an unnoticed accumulation of items has become burdensome. These possessions still have value, but now lack usefulness. Donate your unwanted items to Goodwill and become a job creator. Your donations allow Goodwill to provide much-needed training to job seekers in our community, and that's pretty useful for everyone. Be a job creator. Donate. Goodwill. There's more behind the store.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. A friend of mine once told me that he had issues with gay people because, I quote, "I can't accept the gay lifestyle." So I said to him, the gay lifestyle, who determines that? I said, he and I were longtime married heterosexual men who were committed to their wives and families. And I said, do we represent the straight heterosexual lifestyle, or does somebody like Madonna, the Kardashians, or that Mo Pugh Hefner? Are these people who represent the hetero lifestyle? The lifestyles of gay people I know just really aren't that much different than mine. These folks love their families, work hard at their jobs, want a better life for their kids, and they just want to come home from work, suck down a brewski, and watch reruns on TV. The gay lifestyle. Okay, whatever. Okay. This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and that's my opinion.
Highlander Golf Course is proud to announce their 2 new state-of-the-art full-swing golf simulators with over 80 courses of virtual golf to choose from year-round. Or try their Laser Shot simulated firearm program, or gaming with football, basketball, and much more. Enjoy Highlander food and drink service from their full-service bar and grill in the comfort of their simulator room. Call the Highlander Pro Shop to book your time at 884-4653. That's 884-4653.
Come find your holiday gifts at Antique Mall at Cashmere this holiday season. With 15,000 square feet to explore, Antique Mall at Cashmere has something for everyone, from coin enthusiasts to avid collectors. For do-it-yourselfers, this is the place to find your next repurposing project. What a great way to make your holiday gifts for someone special, using your keen eye to make something old and new again. Discover your next holiday gift in the Antique Mall at Cashmere. Stop on by today.
Let Fitterers Furniture help you turn your dreams into reality with their exciting selection of quality furnishing and accessories. Whatever style you are looking for, you will find beautifully crafted furniture of exceptional value and the unmatched Fitterers customer service to make this shopping experience one you will keep coming back to. Make a point of visiting Fitterers Furniture in downtown Ellensburg.
Quality selection and service since 1896.
The Cottage Inn has been a Wenatchee Valley landmark since 1940, making it one of the longest-running locally owned restaurants around. And it's better than ever. Steak, seafood, and their famous homemade desserts for dinner, wonderful lunch items, and breakfast on Sundays, all made from scratch and at an affordable price. It's no wonder the Cottage Inn has been so popular for over 75 years. Enjoy a fabulous meal today at the Cottage Inn on Easy Street in Old Station. Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on this Tuesday. I am Dan Kuntz. My guest to my immediate left making his very first appearance on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm sorry, the name again?
Thom Nees.
Thom Nees.
Yes.
The Executive Director of Surf Wenatchee Valley. I think if you make to 100 shows, you get like a commemorative coin or something like that, Tom.
Yeah. I thought you told me you're going to start billing me.
Yeah, no. We'd love you. We love you. In fact, let's start out with a kind of a neat little story about Thom. This was a couple weeks ago. Megan, my producer, and I, my teammate, went down to see you at your new headquarters, and we were doing our stuff. We were packing up the gear, and a gentleman came in right after opening, and his story was a very simple one. He said, "I'm a renter. I have a steady job, but I had some unexpected bills that came floating my way, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to pay my rent this month. Can you help me out?" And he filled out some forms, and you put them with the right people, and you took care of them. It was one of those. It was a typical Surf Wenatchee. I've never actually been in your area, in your office, to see that happen, but I actually got to see that firsthand, and it was kind of made me feel good.
It's an amazing thing.
Yeah.
That's why we say that hope is contagious, because it's not just the benefit of the person that is receiving the hope, but it also elicits a response inside of us that is incredibly hopeful. And
Yeah.
so we're very grateful and believe that hope does become contagious when we respond.
And he was
like
he
this.
was very. I don't think he'd ever been there before, and he was I think overwhelmed with emotion about how you guys could help him out. Just all he needed to do was make ends meet for 1 month, get a little rent in, get a little bit ahead of the game, because it happens to people.
Yeah.
So a lot of people who live paycheck to paycheck. It takes one little thing, and the cycle begins.
It's extraordinary, actually, the statistics of the number of people that cannot afford a $500 emergency to their monthly, cash flow, and that is a car breakdown. It's a job setback.
Johnny falls in the playground and breaks his wrist. Boom.
Medical,
Got a medical
exactly.
bill. Yeah, that kind of stuff. So, yeah, nobody should have to decide whether, gee, I can eat or pay rent this month. Nobody should have to do that. So, speaking of eating, baskets of blessings, of course, came and went for the Thanksgiving holiday. Talk about that. How did it go?
That was again another amazing event and opportunity we did. We make about 450 baskets, and on Tuesday night, the 26th, the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, we were able to do all but about 35 of those baskets. Then on the following Wednesday, we had families come in and pick the rest of those up, and so we were able to provide a Thanksgiving meal for 450 families. This community amazingly supported that. The generosity of this community just continues to inspire me, and so they reached out, and for just $35 a basket, we were able to provide those, and so it was an awesome event.
And one of the reasons that you can get away with $35 for a basket to feed a family of four is that you have some great relations with local grocers and wholesale outlets that can do that. And you're building up on the food bank as well.
We do. Yep.
Yeah.
It's Grocery Outlet's a great partner. T-Sales in East Wenatchee is a great partner. We did 300 traditional baskets and then 150 150 Hispanic baskets. And so we were able to provide that for the families that would like it. And
so does the food bank get really low during certain times of the year? Because I know a lot of people are in on this. It's not just Wenatchee Valley, but there are other organizations as well that all participate in kind of a community food bank, if you like, or just a centralized food bank. But my guess is it ebbs and flows on how much food you have in the pantry.
It does a little bit, but I feel like we've done a pretty good job of creating a flow of food into our food banks that is able to serve. We have 5 food banks around the community that we service out of our main warehouse area, and so we have churches that will do a food drive in different months of the year. And the effort there is to create a consistent flow of food. So every once in a while we have a great influx with a big food drive,
right,
in July or in May to stamp out hunger. But those consistent, food drives really help us to maintain through these months coming up here, where they would have a potential of dropping off.
And how do you handle particular food items that have a short shelf life? Dairy products, for instance, and breads and grains that don't necessarily sit on the shelf very long. The stuff that when you get it, you gotta use it, like
Sure.
milk and eggs and things like that. How do you handle that?
So we are a Second Harvest recipient, and so we do get food from. It's a Safeway program, and the Second Harvest we get that 3 days a week. That comes into our office and to our 5 food banks, and we put those in places that can be used. And then overflow, we also use the overflow to go to the jail. We deliver some oftentimes bread there. We've got other nonprofits when they need a little bit. Powerhouse is one that we deliver sandwiches and things like that we get through the Second Harvest. And so we distribute that, but it of course needs to be refrigerated and needs to be handled carefully. We've got some very clear guidelines, and we manage those guidelines and bring it in, and we make sure that we get it out before they go bad.
What do you ask of the people who ask of you? And by that, I mean, well, we'll use the example that I gave at the top of the interview. The gentleman who came in and just need a little help so he could pay his rent and get a little bit ahead of the game. What are you asking of him when you say, here's what you need to pay your rent for November?
Well, a lot of times, someone will come in and they will have some cash. They will have some, solution on their own, but not enough solution. And so what we get to do is pool together the solution that fills the gap. And so, what we would ask of them if they're available is to, to bring what they can to the table, and we add what we can to the table. But other than that, we're pretty low barrier. We don't ask a whole lot. They come in. We do ask them to share their story with us because we want to know the full picture. And oftentimes, when someone comes in and shares their story, the thing that they are coming in, which is the need that they feel like they have, is not necessarily the solution. There's another solution that in our conversation we come up with and help them to take their next steps.
And of course, they don't want to be there. They don't want to be there.
Of course.
It's tough for them.
Yep.
It's tough for them.
So. It is tough for them, but one thing that I say all the time is that I can tell you with certainty that everyone that comes in to serve Wenatchee wants to stay in their home. Our solution in this community for addressing homelessness is to address the prevention side and making sure that families can stay safely home. And 100% of the folks that come in want to work with us and find a solution for that to happen.
When you see homeless people, very few people want to be homeless. Very few people choose to live on the street. They don't want to be there.
Sure.
There are those who do, but that's definitely a very small minority there.
I think so.
Absolutely. You and a number of other really great organizations around North Central Washington who I'd like to profile in this program. You're going to be part of the Les Schwab Community Toy Drive again this year. We're going to be collecting the toys with the help of our viewers and our sponsors. For the Serve Wenatchee Valley, are you looking for specific toys, specific age groups, that kind of deal for your organization when people are out doing their shopping?
Yeah, we are going to have about 90 families this year with close to 300 children. It's just shy of 300 children. The age range, we communicate with the Les Schwab Toy Drive. We give them a spreadsheet and say these are the ages. But I would say, interestingly, the ages are trending maybe a little bit older this year than in past. Our director of programs, Donna Pruitt, could answer that question with a whole lot more clarity than what I can. But the ages, what I understand is that they are just trending a little bit older than what we've had, and so those sometimes are a bit more challenging. As kids get older,
they get a little more picky. I don't want to use the word picky, but
but they do have a different mindset about that, and so we in the past have done a lot of gift cards and things like that for particularly the older kids in the middle school, high school ages. And I'm not suggesting they're all high school kids, but they're just trending a little bit older. So those. But
we don't really. There's no accounting for that. We don't really know why, do we? West seems to be trending a little bit older than years past.
It is what it is every year. Every year, it just simply is what it is, and the families that we have related with over the course of the year that are part of our Glory of Christmas program. Then they just need this help, and so we don't determine, we don't target certain age group kids. What we do is we find families that need some significant help at this time of
the
year.
gift card thing is a great idea. That's really the way to go, because you don't. And that really goes for anybody. If you say, I don't have any kids, I want to help out. I want to help the Les Schwab Community Toy Drive. I want to help out Serve Wenatchee Valley and Casa and Sage and Cashmere Cares, all those things. I don't want to have any kids. I don't want to get a gift card. It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. In fact, I have the list right here, and this list is available, by the way. If you go to the drop-off locations, by the way, I was on the website, lstoydrive.org. That'll help you out. And the list for 8th graders and higher, or what you might imagine, remote-controlled drones and helicopters. Kids love that stuff. Movie theater gift cards, cosmetics for the girls, that kind of stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, just use a little common sense.
You're right.
Absolutely. We're going to take a little break, and when we come back, Thom and I are going to perform Messiah in its entirety. I'm a baritone. What are you?
Tenor.
Okay.
Second tenor.
We can, more like a 5th tenor, if you ask me. What are you doing on Sunday night? May I respectfully suggest you go to the Wenatchee High School Auditorium. We'll talk about that when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
My awesome is being part of the Nez Perce tribe. We have a tourism company, and we highlight the history and culture of the Nez Perce people. I found Washington Trust Bank because they were very involved in the community. They believed in me. They definitely saw the need for this in our region. All the folks at Washington Trust Bank are phenomenal. They've done such a wonderful job helping me along my journey.
What's your awesome? Whatever it is, we'll help you get there.
When you think of Doghouse Motorsports, you might think of motorcycles, but there's a lot more in this house. How about Honda power equipment? From snowblowers to lawnmowers to generators and even water pumps, Honda is the brand that sets the standards. Perhaps you need an ATV or UTV. The Doghouse has the largest selection anywhere. Did we mention watercraft and snowmobiles? And of course, we have motorcycles too. Back it up with terrific customer service and you have Wenatchee's best motorsports store 5 years running. Isn't it time for you to be in the Doghouse?
Travel enhances your life in every way. Let the travel professionals at Journey Travel and Tours help you plan that dream vacation. Don't leave the important details to those nameless, faceless online agencies. At Journey Travel and Tours, our goal is to build relationships that last a lifetime. And when you do need help, we have a 24-hour helpline that is routed to one of the agents in our office. When you think travel, think Journey Travel and Tours. It's where your journey begins. Like us on Facebook, and you could be one of our monthly winners.
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
And we are back on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm Dan Kuntz, and my guest is, I'm sorry, the name again?
Thom Nees.
Thom Nees of Serve Wenatchee Valley, making his first ever appearance on this program. Handel's Messiah. Last year, it was like, let's throw it against the wall and see if it sticks, see if the pasta's ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
It went fantabulously well. You're going to do it again. First of all, whose idea was it to launch this thing locally, and a little bit about the Handel's Messiah itself?
You know, I have to say that we had a board member who has since retired from our board, J.R. Cano. He is a music director over at Eastmont Baptist Church, and he, you know, every once in a while he just throws these little thoughts out. And this was one of those thoughts that stuck in my head. We should do a Handel's Messiah, because they used to do it in the community with some regularity. And then it had some time when it hadn't been done for a little bit. So I think that was part of the exciting, part to have this coming back. Then Dan Jackson stepping in and willing to be the artistic director for it. Of course, that helped. But the iconic music of Handel's Messiah, of course, we're doing the Christmas portion. Handel's Messiah was written for Easter, but it also has a Christmas portion. And then we end with with the culmination, the Hallelujah chorus, which is typically part of the Easter, but you can't do any of the Handel's Messiah without doing the Hallelujah.
Oh, you have to. That's the signature part of the piece.
That's part of it. And so, but interestingly, I discovered this after we decided to do it, that this piece was performed by Handel in Dublin, Ireland in 1742 for the first time. And he did it in about a 600 to 700 person auditorium. And it was done as a charity to buy people out of debtor's prison. And at that time, they raised the financial equivalent that they raised during that performance was about $80,000.
Which is a remarkable amount of money for the 18th century.
Exactly. It was. They raised about 400 pounds. You translate that out, it's it's about an $80,000 bill. They were able to successfully buy 142 men out of debtor's prison. And so to be able to tie into that story, to do Handel's Messiah, but tap into that charitable response to the need of families in our community, just particularly resonates with with me and with us. And so we've got a fairly significant goal. We've got a $50,000 goal this year for Handel's Messiah, and that's not just a one-time single-time gift. We also would love to have folks that might take that $600 that they would give on the night, but take it $50 a month over the next year. right? And so
which would be better for you.
It's a sustainable model. It allows folks to continuously and consistently be a part of the solution in the community, and it would be a great help. So
on Sunday night, specifically at the Wenatchee High School Auditorium, are you passing the plate? Is there a mission? What's that? How does that work?
We are going to have online options for giving that are going to be there. We'll have a texting option, but there will also be pledge sheets that are there. And so if folks want to fill out a one-time and leave either cash or a check, as a one-time, or they can fill out their pledge sheet and say, I would like to do this much a month for the next, however long, and we will collect those, and then as soon as we can, let folks know what we did together.
And thank goodness you brought Dan Jackson on board, because he knows what he's doing, and he certainly knows he knows Handel's Messiah like the back of his hand. Of course, he was a longtime choral director at Wenatchee High School, even back when I went to Wenatchee High School. That's how. I'm not going to say how old Dan is, but Dan taped a special invitation to all of our viewers to go. Let's go ahead and roll that. Here's Dan Jackson talking about Sunday night's event.
Well, I'm Dan Jackson, and I'm here to spread the word about the second annual Messiah Sing-Along, Community Messiah Sing-Along. We did this last year, and we had so much fun that we're going to do it again. This event is being held a week from Sunday, December 8 at 6:30 at Wenatchee High School. Last year it was at Eastmont Baptist Church, and it was great. This year we're looking for a little bit bigger venue, plus the acoustics are terrific at Wenatchee High School to sit out in the audience, so we think it's going to be great. Again, we have a number of community conductors and soloists that will join us, as well as a chamber orchestra, and we even have the brass quintet back, who's really good, and they'll play kind of carols as you're coming in. It's a terrific event. This event is produced by Serve Wenatchee Valley, whose mission is one that deals with homelessness, and it's one that I believe in strongly, and I think they do a terrific job. Their specific mission is to keep families in their homes, which I think is a great thing to be working on. So this event is a fundraiser to that end, and although it's free, you show up, there's no entry fee at all to show up. There will be a chance in the middle. We'll show you how you can donate to this great cause if you want to. I know some of you folks are a little nervous about this. You're maybe rusty, or maybe you've never even sung it, but you like to do it because it sounds like so much fun and doesn't take a lot of time, like an hour and 15 minutes total. So here's what you can do. I have a solution. Chinook Music on Eastmont Avenue has a bunch of scores. I know they have them because I dropped them off. You can borrow one of those scores, and they also have, if you want to purchase a score, you can do that as well. Pick one of those up, then go home and Google Messiah, I think it's Messiah Practice Parts or something like that by Alan Giles. Remember Alan Giles on Google. And it's a wonderful place where you can practice your own individual part if you want to. So we hope to see you all there. This is a great event. Again, it's December 8, 6:30 p.m., Wenatchee High School.
Good to see Dan. We were going to show highlights of last year's performance at Eastmont Baptist Church. We don't have enough time, but it's obvious that you needed, by looking at the video of last year's performance, you needed a bigger venue, and now you got one.
We do.
At the Wenatchee High School Auditorium. We're hoping to pack the joint.
It would be wonderful to pack that place with folks that are singing this iconic music and fill that hall with the beautiful music, and also make it a part of our charitable season of the year to help families in our community.
And again, if you can't carry a tune, you don't have to sing.
That's right.
But it kind of will, the music will lift you up and take you, and before you know it, you'll be standing and singing anyway. So, except
that
Thom.
That happened last year.
Yeah, Thom can't sing, but we won't get into that. I shouldn't say that. It's just, your voice sounds like a cow with his leg caught in a fence. Probably shouldn't do that. Thom, we got about 30 seconds. What else is on your mind while I got you here?
You know,
I might not see you before the holidays are over, so.
You might not.
Well, I mean, in this setting, Thom.
Gotcha.
So,
okay. Well,
especially if you sing.
Especially with the new bill that I get for coming. I think that has more to do with taking the cup every time I'm here.
Is that what it is?
With anything.
Thom Nees from Serve Wenatchee Valley. Let me know how it goes on Sunday. I'd appreciate it.
I will do that. Come and join us for this beautiful event.
Everybody have a great Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.